Yo, what's up, fam? You tuned into D&D. Today's episode, our caller asked, how can he help his unestablished artists get on TV and radio? We then delved into answering and help him understand the difference between new media and traditional media. So sit back, relax, and don't forget to dial and help us help you discover.
We work with, upcoming artists, and it's a trend currently to be independent,
Okay.
But now with the people that we're working with, they don't have that.
I think business is business,
Business is business. I like that.
10 laws of commandments stay the same across the board. Yeah.
There are very two defined moments like that. Like Elaine came out, dropped her first project. No TV, no radio. Waffles.
Let's talk about waffles.
What about waffles?
Hey, man. What about waffles? So a lot of people put they'll be like in downtown Joburg and Bree, but they'll put Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Instagram knows cap on that real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because it uses the AI to say, this is not giving
Miami.
It's giving Zimbabwe.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Dial and Discover, #D&D. Thank you for joining us and watching this episode. Thank you for liking and sharing the content so far. We really appreciate you guys joining us and engaging with us. I'm not sitting here alone. Yes, my name is Calvin Mercy, and I'm joined with my friend Siam Hlungu.
What's up, bro?
What's poppin', my boy?
Easy, my dog.
Nah, I'm messing with the flow.
Yeah.
I think just the momentum that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's interesting is how we said it's so on point and so real life. For us, for the people watching, it's like we go from conversations here, and then in the week some stuff happens based on what we spoke as well,
right.
Or even just before coming into this. So I think that's also just an interesting dynamic.
It's in real time.
Yeah, it's real time. Your week going good so far?
It is. It was a bit of a weird one. These holidays in the middle of the week kind of throw me off. So spent the whole of, yesterday feeling like it's Saturday. So I woke up with the Monday energy today, but it was supposed to be Sunday. It's a bit weird, it's like reset, but still chilling out. But it's been a good week.
Yeah.
Been very, very laid back. I'm just glad that, we're also in town more consistently. Hence we can kind of drop these back to back.
Yeah. That's been I think just the positive that comes out of being home side, working, whatnot, that we're able to just keep the consistency of the show.
Yeah.
Because people have just been on it and they're excited to just I got a message I think a day or two ago.
Okay.
Really, really dope message. I'm tempted to actually open it and read it and not paraphrase, but very close associate of mine was just like, yo, and I like the honesty.
Right.
He's like, I started watching the show because you're my guy.
You're my bro.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'll probably watch the show for support, And then he said, and then I tapped in and you guys were just dropping these conversations and these engagements. And by actual fact, it's helped me so much that the nuggets that I've taken and I've applied in my business. And he runs a basically a signage business.
Okay.
Yeah, they develop signages and
Nice.
and those type of setups. And very interesting. So I haven't replied to him, but I will reply.
Right. I trust you.
I saw the message, but I was in the middle of whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Really dope because, again, we always say the stuff that we speak about, the application of the principles is across.
100%. 100%.
And I think that's also what's important about all these conversations that we have.
Yeah. I think business is business,
Business is business, dog.
It doesn't change. 10 laws of commandments stay the same across the board.
Business is business. I like that.
Yeah.
Because you get the business of everything.
And I think it's also just to encourage, people to just in general, how you watch these documentaries and some of the biggest hip hop artists listen to jazz. You know what I'm trying to say? Get the inspiration from sort of that.
Yeah.
So I think just having that open mind, not tuning off because today they're talking about acting or today they're talking about, it's there's principles in all those sort of things. Just remove the actual profession and replace it with yours, but the core principles can't remain the same.
There's something I learned from, I think I heard it from Virgil. And he said something along the lines of, don't take from the same place you want to contribute to. Now, let me explain it a little bit.
Please.
don't only consume and take inspiration from the same place you want to bring change, because then you're almost recycling the same things, right? And this was very interesting for me as an individual, because it kind of put me on the path I'm on, where I'm like a sponge when knowledge is concerned. If I don't know something, I'm going to be quiet and actually listen. Doesn't matter what it is, because I don't know it. And it's new. And you don't know how something's going to land until you receive it. Right? And let me go back to Virgil. What's interesting about him as a designer is that he's a qualified architect, but he ends up as a fashion designer. And so he says what he learned from architecture plays a big role in the way he's a designer, in his design form. I'll mention like two other designers. The lady, I don't know, I'm going to explain the logo. It's the logo with the heart and the eyes. It's called CDG. Right?
Yes.
That lady didn't study fashion either, right? But essentially from what she was exposed to, that played a role in how she translates her design, you know? And then there's another designer, I just forgot his name. He studied interior designing. Never studied fashion, but that translates into, you get what I'm saying? So don't take from, and it's to what you're saying, like you have artists like a Kanye West, you know, that takes from. But I think in the line of business is business, it's like you can look at somebody being successful in construction business and learn principles and how to navigate here. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
How approaches, ways to deal with problems, marketing tricks, you know, creative ways to deliver the product, distribution, and things like that. But I think maybe one of the big issues becomes that people want to take from the same place where they want to contribute. Now you all just doing the same thing.
100%. Yeah, that's so true. That's facts. Yeah.
It's crazy, that chat. Let me operate the first call already, because I think, you know, the time situation is tricky today.
Yeah. No,
but we're gonna try land this properly.
Okay. Dial and discover. D&D.
But yeah, don't take from where you want to contribute or bring change. That changed my life, actually, that statement. Because then it allowed me to research and consume other knowledge, which I use essentially.
Don't get high off your own supply.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. You are live on Dial and Discover, my brother. D&D. You're speaking to Calvin and Sia.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? You're talking to Droplets.
Yeah, shout out, my brother. Shoot us your question real quick so that we can see how we can help you, my brother.
All right, man. You know, so I won't be long, but I mean, we work with, you know, upcoming artists, you know, and it's a trend currently to be independent, you know.
Okay.
And the traditional way is to work with these record labels, which already have a PR rollout. We know that you're gonna be on. You're on. Basically, all you need to do is just produce your music. But now with the people that we're working with, they don't have that.
Okay.
You know,
what don't they have?
So basically, we don't have access to, you know, TV and radio, and we just want to know, if you're independent, how do you actually get yourself out there without any record label? Yes.
Okay. PR, basically.
Yeah.
That's our focus.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You want to add on that?
I think you can go for it.
Okay. So I think it is a very, very, you know, it is an important aspect, most definitely, to the up and coming conversation. But the biggest thing that you must understand in 2023, as I would say, is that doing your own PR is a real thing, right? First and foremost, because remember what media is, right? So TV, radio, newspaper platforms or publications, billboards, those are all media. And that's what we call traditional media. And so now digital becomes new media, but they're all media. They all serve to give you the same outcome.
What would you say some new media is?
The new media is basically your social media platforms. You go into, but you see now it extends to like the form of podcasting or type of content, right? That's essentially the new media. It's
digital blogs,
it's those
social.
aspects that bring you attention. Because what's the point of going to a TV talk show appearance or radio interview? It's attention. You want the listeners that are on that show or the viewers that are on that show to find out about you, in essence, right? And so if you also go back to 1 or 2 episodes that we had, and the conversation was that understand the platforms. Because even now, the reason why people even ask this question that he's actually asking is also because they don't understand what the purpose of TV is and the purpose of radio and the purpose of newspaper article and the purpose of do you understand?
Right.
When you understand the purpose, you can understand what else serves for the same thing.
Facts.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So you must understand already, and I'm starting at the level of somebody who doesn't have access to context, doesn't have access to a budget or whatever the case is, because then we can talk about that just now, is to say these platforms are there and you have free access to them. And if you learn how this thing works, you can essentially get the same outcome as being on a radio and a TV, right? Firstly. Then secondly, all the platforms you're talking about, a TV, a radio, etc., they all have the context or whatever to those platforms. You want to utilize those contexts.
Right.
So, because at the end of the day, there isn't, Calvin's line isn't necessarily just sitting there somewhere and he works at a Viacom, a MTV, a Metro FM as myself, but as the platform, it is there. And there is somebody that kind of does the task of going through it. But you must remember, a lot of people are doing the same thing that you're doing. So therefore, you have more control doing your own PR at that stage than for you to get on a Metro FM or a whatever other platform. But at the stage that you become an establishing artist, that trajectory now changes because you have an audience already. And that means when they look at you, they also want an audience too.
Right, 100%.
That's where the exchange comes in. And that's why then you see the difference in how certain artists will land up on these platforms because they've got attention. At this stage, everybody's looking for attention, and that's the biggest thing. If you can figure out and understand the attention concept, you can navigate.
Okay. So I guess let's say...
okay. So can I just add on? So basically what you're saying is that we need to first establish an audience, basically, of the new media that we have access to.
100%, my brother.
Yeah.
If you focus on that, you see, because the chat that you're having is accurate. You asked a very valid question, and many people are asking that question. But what they also then forget is the fact that when you build an audience, you essentially give yourself then the leverage that within the next 3, 4, 5 years, social media will become bigger than it already is, because that's the trend that's happened in the past 5 to 10 years, right? So the power of this media changes too.
Yeah.
And hence why SABC1 is on social media. Metro FM is on social media. If social media was not as powerful as we're saying it is right now, they wouldn't be on these media platforms.
Right. So if we say, let's start from new media, then we can work backwards to traditional.
Okay.
So maybe like 2 examples I'm just thinking of, like, so this first example is someone who kind of built from the ground up with meticulous attention. I'm actually going to tell you her name. So her name is Tabby Happy. She's an influencer, right?
Yes.
So Tabby started a couple of years ago.
Shout out to Tabby.
Yeah. She started a couple of years ago, and I was paying very close attention. We used to work together and stuff like that. She's one of the first people who got to 1 million followers just by doing fashion.
Yes.
Just the same stuff consistently over time.
Lifestyle and fashion elements.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Got you.
So she says, most of the bags that I get, I take those concerts, I book a flight to Cape Town, and I get a nice hotel, you know what I'm trying to say, and I shoot and I create content in Cape Town.
Yes.
So then, so that's like the practical elements of it. But when you understand, again, the platforms, you know that Instagram also has its own boxes you must tick in order for them to push your content.
Yes, 100%.
So the day Instagram changed from chronological order, which is whoever posted last, just like Twitter, you see, and they went into kind of like showing you what is most interesting to you.
Yeah.
Two things happened. Number one, they started looking at us pushing your content more will be based on who's engaged with the content in the first couple of minutes.
Yes.
So if you post a photo like 5 minutes, you get like 3-4 comments. That says to Instagram, this is interesting content.
Yes.
More people want to see that. They give it to more feeds. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Another thing they do is they use AI, artificial intelligence, to look at the photo and judge its quality. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Then it also looks at the location you're putting. So a lot of people will put like, they'll be like in downtown Joburg and Bree, but they'll put Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Instagram calls cap on that real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because it uses the AI to say, this is not giving Miami. It's giving Zimbabwe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so they throw that out. Yeah. And then, so this is where Tabi really won. But then they also get the aesthetic. So you have dope views and dope curation behind you. It's all about the aesthetics for Instagram. 100%. It came as a photo app. You know what I mean? So once you start understanding that that's what those platforms favor, you can kind of like work towards creating for that. So same type of photos, high aesthetics, going to Cape Town, hotels, mountains, beach, whatever the case is, and she hit 1 million followers. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's one person sticking to one lane, no TV, no newspaper, no magazine,
100%.
but bags on bags as far as brand campaigns.
So what I'm literally catching from that is what, off the bat, I'm like, you've got to understand the platform you're on.
Understand the platform you're on.
Right?
Yeah.
It's that becomes the most important thing. So basically going back, and I just want to answer Monde's question directly to say, yes, build your audience, right? Build your audience, engage with your audience based on your current reach that you have, because you have a reach. You have 1,000 people. Pay attention to that 1,000, because essentially when that 1,000 gives you this algorithm situation and you come in front of a Metro FM and whatnot talk show, then they're like, okay, we've got this guy who keeps popping up.
Yes.
Who's this? And what are they about? Then they invite you to come through and talk about it on the show, to be like, yo, we've been seeing you pop up on the timelines.
Yeah.
What's your story?
Chance? Yeah, 100%.
You get what I'm saying?
And also, you're noticing, and I'm sure like you've experienced this quite a lot, the TV and traditional guys are asking, how many followers you got?
150%.
Do you know what I mean? Even to be a presenter. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can hear your radio voice, but how many followers you got?
Which is my whole point, because new media has become that powerful.
Yeah.
You know? And I every time I'm speaking to young guys and they talking about how do I get on radio and TV, I'm like, let that be a indirect from your success.
Let it be a result.
Let it be a result from what you do on all these new platforms.
Absolutely.
Okay. So 100%. Monde, I don't know if we answered your question and you get basically what we're saying.
Yeah, no, most definitely I hear you. So it's about handling the first 1,000.
100%. Handle your first 1,000. You get me? And now, just to speak on a little bit on the direction of, like we're saying, we're not ruling out the radio and TV,
right?
And pushing that the way labels do does require a budget, and you don't want to put yourself in a lane where you then saying, well, I don't have 15,000 or 20,000 rand or 30, and then you then don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if you do have that, that's probably not where you want to invest in.
Exactly.
You probably want to get better drip, get a dope photographer, curate some dope high level content, so it's being more sustainable kind of in that play. Yeah.
Then when you hit establishing and you're at a place where you've got momentum, you're doing shows, you've got a bit of income coming in, you've got a cash flow coming in, maybe from 1 or 2 songs that's bringing in some money every quarter. Then you can consider maybe getting in a PR specialist conversation.
Right.
Which that's also a chat that we can like speak about and inform how to even navigate those. Like, what do you do when you're given the opportunity to do a radio run, a TV this or whatever?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
So that's also information that we can go into.
Yeah.
But for what Monde is asking, I think it's that. Don't lock yourself up into that barrier when you're not there yet. Yeah. Don't do that.
I think even you touching on these PR companies, it's also very important for people to know that there's a very big gap between the perception of something and what actually goes on behind the scenes.
Very
Do you know
true.
what I'm trying to say?
Very.
So we look at these big brands, for example, like Coca-Cola, and we're thinking that the CEO and executives are there making the Coke in the factory, then they're packaging, then they see us, taking it all the way to, you know what I'm trying to say? But there's different companies that sit there to do those sort of stuff.
100%.
So in entertainment and all business, you get companies in space to say, okay, please go out and work this song and project for me.
Yes.
So I think when you speak about PR companies, it's also important for people to understand that there's different functions of different businesses that sit under providing these sort of services, you know? So it's being informed about, okay, so how do I get in touch with PR companies? What are they supposed to do for me? How much does it cost? So educate. So same way, learn the platform, then also learn the system. You know what I'm trying to say?
Which I think then what would happen actually, again, I think what would happen is we'll have a conversation then on that too. Yeah. Because I think there's somebody, a friend that we can actually call where this is concerned.
Right.
We'll have somebody give us that other side too.
100%.
And how these two work together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then everybody then can understand when you navigate the stages, because the second stage also has its own conversations as well. And I think just to give the whole answer full scale.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe what we can do, bro, is when we do, dial the friend, maybe get them in to speak on this. We can also just maybe dial you in Monday so you can hear, or just send you the link to the episodes so you can kind of, have a look at that as well. But I definitely think it's something we need to delve into and really put people on. Yeah, as far as, because it's a whole world. You're so correct.
It is.
It's a full-blown chat.
Another chat.
Yeah.
Monday, you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. Before I even leave, I just wanted to say you guys are doing a lot, man. You guys are changing the game.
Shout out.
And keep it up. Chili.
Thank you for that, man. And good luck to you and what you're doing, and the team around you and the individuals that you're running with. Stay on track and stay focused and just keep putting in work.
No, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy.
All right. Much love. One time. Yeah. Nah, so I think that's you. Let's run with that. Let's set up something where that's concerned, because a lot of people are confused by that, the whole chat now, where it's like, yes, there's these new platforms, but then what about TV? What about radio? What about newspaper? What about magazines?
Yeah.
And there's a way to work that, but you gotta understand for me, that's the biggest thing.
Understanding.
You've got to understand
what is the function for each of these things.
What are these functions? I was saying to somebody, like, when you understand having your music on radio, like, what's the actual point of that?
Yeah. What are you going for?
What is it?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that radio gives you is repetition.
Right.
It's a psychological thing.
Right.
You keep hearing a joint over and over.
How many of those songs is giving Justin Bieber Baby? Like, I hate this song.
But
then it plays exactly, right?
You know it.
And you find yourself humming it.
You know when it starts. You know that key when it starts because you hear it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, when the new media is concerned, what I say is figure out what gives you that same result. Right now?
Yeah.
TikTok and Reels. If you sit right now, if you open your TikTok or your Reels, there is one or two sounds that are gonna repeat themselves.
Yep.
And that's the same radio effect.
100%. That's the same
right?
radio. That's the repetition. Hey,
that's the repetition.
Which is how challenges become that. You know what I mean? It's like some of the best challenges that I've seen. We're not, hello, today we're doing a dance challenge. You know what I'm saying?
I love that stuff.
Oh,
like, come on, man.
Like, Chief, like, it's not giving, you know what I mean?
So you said the one time, the best marketing
doesn't feel like marketing.
Doesn't feel like marketing.
That's that.
Right?
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And I think the guys who can finesse it most, because strategy, okay, let me take a step back. There's a difference between marketing and advertising. That's the first thing we understand. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yo, people need to get that. You see?
That chat?
You know
what I'm trying to say? Because marketing is you saying, so there's things you can do to market. Like, you post an Instagram reel, it could be marketing / advertising, but it's more so marketing because you're putting it out there. It's like that third layer, products, packaging, distribution. So most of the time, the distribution in new media is the marketing. So here's my video, here's my reel. The advertising though, right? So if I put it out, like let's look at D&D, right? We are marketing right now. We're putting out the reel on Instagram, but it's hitting 17 followers. Shout out, we grew with 14 followers, you know?
Yeah,
So it's hitting 17 followers. But if we want to advertise that, we're going to put behind like R1,000 budget to boost it and then take it out beyond the people already in there. You know what I mean? So there's retaining customers, you know, speaking honestly, your community, that 1,000, those 17. Then it's going out and advertising and getting more people to kind of be aware of your product. So the billboard is the advertiser to say, yo, new Kia Picanto, this car, this range, you know what I mean? But the marketing is not necessarily advertising per se. It's a very fine line, you know?
It's a fine line, but they essentially, they're cousins. It kind of like they tap into each other in a way, but you must understanding the difference helps you to just be more intentional essentially.
That's what it's about,
right? Because I think that's what understanding gives you. It gives you the ability to be intentional.
100%.
You know? And you know, I'm even thinking now, like, which I didn't even really go into like that, but I keep kind of alluding to the fact that sponsored posts and boosting content is still so underrated. Undervalued.
Because it's a rand value sort of thing, right?
Undervalued.
100%.
You know, and Gary's been saying that for freaking 5 years.
It's because the same thing you're saying, people don't understand what they're doing. I want to be in the newspaper, I want to be on radio. You pay 50,000 rand.
Yeah.
And then your song, because so many layers. It's so hard to know it, but it's like, use your money efficiently. You know what I mean? And leave these quote unquote special, bigger sort of things to do. Like, you never see a company opening today and they have a billboard. You know, like they got to rack up some type of capital or presence or visibility or whatever as they call business, you know, whether that's day 1,000, whether that's 1,000 customers or whatever. Then when you get to a certain level, now we can have some money to advertise on a larger scale.
100%.
But you have no business taking that 15K that you have and paying for your song to play once or twice on radio. Put it right back into your product and reinvest in that, you know, find the cheaper elements. So that 500 rand of boosting could give you so much more value than 15K that you put into radio.
So much more. I think what's interesting is, like, you know, when things like the Elaine situation of when she comes out, how that happens. I always reference like moments like that. They're very two defined moments like that. Like, Elaine came out, dropped her first project, and she hit over 1 million streams. Boom. Like, no TV, no radio. Right? Radio.
It's giving Tyler.
Radio catches up when? Because now we're all talking about
and radio pays attention to the new media.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Secondly, there was a kid, this is a couple years back, when SoundCloud. So before we go into full-on DSP, SoundCloud rapper, quote unquote, Patrick Lee. I
remember that era.
Very interesting case study. Patrick Lee on SoundCloud is hitting 1 million on a song. He's not on MTV based interview. He's not on Metro FM,
Apple charts.
You know, when Fresh was on there, Fresh never interviewed the man, the kid at the time. You get what I'm saying? So those case studies are our reflection of what is possible. It's not an anomaly.
Let's talk about waffles. Let's talk about waffles.
What about waffles?
Hey, man. What about waffles? Yo, that girl, and even just watching her play, like, you know, something just like, yo, look at God go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you could just drop a 15 to 20 second video that in the same night gets you followed by Drake. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Posted by Drake. Trending on Twitter.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, boom, 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 one night. That's literally, I wouldn't say overnight success, but success overnight.
But the power of the platform.
It's
crazy.
So when pa, and it's like ripple effects. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I can't put a rand value to that, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? There's no radio or PR or whatever that I can do or invest in to give me that reaction.
Can give you that. You could be on the biggest show. What's the biggest radio show? The biggest
Cozy FM?
Cozy. You could be on a Cozy FM, dude.
Yeah.
Interview.
Yeah. Shout out to the Zulus.
Shout out to Cozy FM. Big time.
Yeah, largest. Yeah.
But you could be on that and not get that, because like we've ran that play with so many artists, so we know this. It's not that we hating on the Cozy. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
But you don't get that same effect
100%
as a Waffles conversation.
Yes.
And that moment was so incredible. And I'm like, I don't, the one thing is, I don't say work towards that moment, but understanding what happened in that moment.
Yeah.
The platform happened.
The platform happened.
And then you ask, okay, how? What are the elements that make this thing to happen?
Yeah. And by the time that happened, she had posted lots of videos before.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you know what
she
I'm
had
trying
been
to say?
in the cut doing her thing.
Yeah, been in the cut doing her thing. But it will catch at
exactly.
some point. Yeah.
And now the disadvantage then what people do is that you try to replicate the video.
You can't.
Can't, man. That's not how it works.
Now I'll be there. How do you? It's like 2 views, guys. Hey, well, Drake, notice me.
Don't take from where you're trying to bring change.
Don't take from where you're trying to bring change. That's fine.
Go listen to Mark Zuckerberg talking about the platform.
Yeah.
That might just help you.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts. 100%.
Go listen to Elon Musk.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
That might just help.
Yeah.
Not, okay, this video.
Yeah.
People trying to copy viral content. That's what I'm saying about the dance challenges.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, dog.
No, man.
And you can't sit and plan and say, see, there's strategy, there's intention behind it.
Yeah.
But there's no like, if I do left and right, and it's gonna blow. No. Like, bro, I won't lie. When I saw Saturday come out, I'm gonna be honest, right?
Yeah.
I saw Saturday, I said, there's no way. This is way too complicated. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But things take for different reasons.
Yes.
So sometimes less is more, but sometimes going to an intermediate level in skill makes people more encouraged to want to try actually do it. So there's different like elements you're playing on there when you're kind of putting those things together.
100%. Like what's crazy is that, you know, the chat with Robot where that's concerned, when he did, you know, first the song is a Bacardi song.
Yes.
Okay, that's the element. Okay, dope. That could have landed anyway. Let's be honest. Could have landed anyway. But when he does the dance, he literally says, I'm going to make it so tricky that they ask how. But that's just understanding your audience.
Understanding your 1,000.
Right? Understanding your 1,000 and what they mess with, what they like from what you do, what they like, you know, from the content you give them, etc.
Yeah.
And then he knows the platforms are going to do it like this when they ask the question.
Which comes with the understanding of your own personal brand. Because if you look at it, Roboboy's brand is how. That's his whole brand. How are you a dancer? How are you a comedian? How do you host? How do you do that thing with your foot? Hey, Michael Jackson. Hey, the magic tricks. Hey, you can try. You know what I mean? So it's always based on how. So when you do that, people don't come and say, this guy's doing too much. It's like, yo, my whole brand is built on that. But how did he do that? You know what I mean? And then, that's actually pretty dope. So
that's what, you know, in line with what we're saying, understand the platforms. Your 1,000, very important. And we said that even in the previous episode. Like that, I think for a lot of people, even if it is at a bigger scale, your 100,000, your 1 million, it's still that. It's still understanding your, like, if we're being like really, like Kim Kardashian understands her audience.
To the T, bro.
She gives them exactly what they want.
Give the people
and they eat it.
Yeah.
I think now on, you know, YouTube, you can go with Mr. Beast. The hardest. He dropped a video the other day.
Yeah.
What a crazy stat. In 24 hours, he did like a couple of millions. In 24 from some video. Like, because he understands his audience. He understands. And even past the 1 million mark, you're still tapping into understanding.
Still going harder.
What does the audience mess with?
Yeah.
Because if Coke is not spending time on trying to understand what to give us, then what are they doing?
Right. 100%. That's so deep.
But
that's so deep.
Now, shout out. I really hope that Monday, you know, caught that chat, and whoever else has been asking about the PR conversation, and that's in, you know, any business really. We've done PR for dentists practices. You do PR for athletes. You know, you do PR. Any
Books,
company, there's a PR aspect. But when you understand what PR is and what media is, you'll understand that it's not one dimensional anymore. It's not doing the newspaper thing only.
Because it's for the public.
You understand?
Public relations.
It's a public relations conversation. So thank you very much, bro. I think this was I think even for myself, it was like, you know, just kind of very refreshing just to understand those dynamics. And
I think let's just definitely delve into our phone books. Let's see if we can dial up, you know.
I really want to do that.
I
really want to do that.
I think it's an important chat. But no,
okay.
Dango,
we'll have that set up. Thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate you guys, and hopefully, you know, we gave you some value on from today's conversation. So please continue to like comment and share, and subscribe, please, so that you can continue this journey with us. Send us any comments that you may have on the show and any other subjects that you may be curious about that you think we can help you discover on. But do please click on the link, or essentially search the link, and make sure that you shoot us your question and shoot us your number so that you can also dial in. But yeah, that's it from us. And until next time, D&D one time.
Danko, asibonge.